Okay, this is a video tutorial on how to do the online training for SmogTech Institute's website. And the first step in the process you'll need to be on the SmogTech Institute website, which is www.smogtechinstitute.com. From there, you're going to want to click the login button. And from there, you're going to log in, and typically your login information is going to be your first name, period, last name. And that's the way we set pretty much everybody up. And then you're going to want to put in your password, which will typically be your date of birth, which will be 2 digits for the day, 2 digits for the month, and 4 digits for the year, with no spaces or dashes or anything in between. Once you're logged in, you will get a successful login. And that will say success. You're fully logged in at this point. Now that you're logged in, you're going to have a new tab that comes up here called My Classes tab. You didn't have that before, now you have it. Now when you click on My Classes tab, you're going to click on it. You'll see all the classes that you're currently enrolled in with SmogTech Institute. So whichever class you're enrolled in, whichever update or online class that you're doing, you would click Open Course. And from there, you're going to get the information of the course, all the pertinent information that we need you to have. And then you'll also have a bunch of icons on the left-hand side, and you can click these 2 arrow buttons to see what those icons actually are. Course home, announcement, documents, learning paths, links, quizzes, assignments, chat, gradebook, mailbox. So the only one you're really concerned about here will be your course home and your gradebook. You really won't have to mess with anything else. You could theoretically send me an email through here if you want, through the mailbox. You could also chat to me if you needed to, but I would say just use the mailbox. That's the easiest way, because all the email comes directly to me and I'll be able to see it and I could respond to it. Whereas the chat, I have to be physically logged in order to see the chat, so that may not be a good way to go. So anyways, to start out with on the training, so you're probably wondering, well, how do I start the training? Which one of these buttons do I push to start? Well, you don't push any of those buttons to start. Just scroll all the way down and you'll see Start Class here, New Technologies Learning Path. So this is the beginning of the class. So when you click on a class, it'll open up into a new window. From there, you are going to get all the content of the class, and you can see on the left hand side you have all your content. So chapter, then chapter quiz, chapter, then chapter quiz. Each chapter has a 10-question quiz that they're done in order, so you can't skip to different chapters, do a different chapter. You have to start with the first chapter and work your way through the whole process. So each chapter contains different material that you need to go through. And this learning plan and objectives tells you basically what the chapter is going to be focusing on and what are the objectives of the chapter. And then down here, what are the resources? So each one of these online courses is going to come with an ebook. And the ebook, I will be mailing you the code for that ebook, and I'll be mailing you the invite link to be able to access the ebook. You also have a main lecture video. The video lecture is the main point of the lesson and must be watched through its entirety, or no credit will be given. So there's no way to skip the video. You have to watch it, and there's no way to really fast forward it or anything like that. Then there's going to be some other stuff that I give throughout that lesson, some animations, maybe some assessments and different things, matching assessments that you'll get depending on the chapter. And then you'll see that you have an assignment at the end, which is all built in, and that assignment is that 10-question quiz, which you must do and pass with a score of 70% to move on to the next chapter. You can take that assignment quiz as many times as you need to pass it, but you must pass it to move on. That is the assessment that lets me know that you understood the information, got it, and were able to pass that quiz, which allows you to go to the next chapter. So from here, you're going to get a little bit of information about the presentation. Understand that the presentation is a recording of me conducting an online class, and I'm talking to several students, and you might hear some people talking in the background once in a while or asking questions. You'll see that I'm not necessarily looking at the camera because I'm really concentrating on the PowerPoint presentation and what I'm delivering to the student. Also, you're going to find out that the page references that I referenced throughout the presentation are not going to match your ebook, and that's because those page references are made for another book for a different class. But since I already had the recording, I use these recordings for this class, so you're not going to have the page references match up. So just look at the headers in the presentation, and then you can compare that header to where you are in the ebook, and you should be able to figure out where you're at any given time. So down below the presentation, this would be your next button. It allows you to continue through, but it won't allow you to continue through because you haven't watched the video in its full entirety yet. So it will not allow you to move forward until that video has been completed. So to start the video, just push the start button. And out of the body control module, and there you see the actuators and everything that it controlled. Now, one of the cool features of this is that you can speed that video up. If you don't like the pace at which it's going, you can make it go faster, up to 2 times faster, or a little slower if you want. It's up to you how fast you want to view the content. But that is not a fast forward. It's just speeding it up a little bit so that you keeps you more engaged for the fast learners, and keep it slower for maybe the slower learners. It's all up to you and what your preferences are. At any given time, if you want to expand that video, you just would click this button here, and that'll give you full screen of the video and take over the whole screen if you want to see it in a bigger presentation. Also up here you have this little button here that will allow you to eliminate this menu on the left hand side, or if you click it back, you'll get your menu back. So that way you can view it on a bigger screen or the way that it was. And this gives you the whole video presentation, and then you can go back to the way it was just by clicking this button. So big screen and little screen. So if you're viewing it on a phone, maybe that's an advantage. I'm not sure. You'll have to figure that out as you go through. So if at any time you feel like you need to stop, or let's say something comes up, you're probably worried that, hey, if I stop this thing, is it going to pick up where I left off? And the answer is absolutely it will. So you can stop and start at any point, and it will always pick up where you left off. So I'll give you an example. This is how you would stop the lesson. You just click this X button up here at the top right. And when you do that, you're now out of the lesson, right? Now you click the start button, or the button here, and it'll go back into the lesson. And when you go back to your video, it will simply just start exactly where you left off. And out of the body control module. Okay, so you don't have to watch the actuators and everything that it controlled. So that's pretty quick, reference to how this works. If you have any questions, you can contact me via the email function here on the left-hand side. And if you just want to create an email, you would compose it, and then you would choose me, the instructor, the staff. So choose me, Mark Kaiser, and just hit OK. Highlight it first, hit OK, and then compose your email like you would any other email. And you hit net or send, and I'm going to get that email directly sent to me, and I'll be able to respond to that email and give you any help that you might need. So if you're stuck on something, you need help with something, just email me. That is the easiest way. I also have a chat function also, but the chat function only works if I'm logged in, and I'm not going to be logged in all the time. So I think the email is your best bet because I will always get my email. So that's pretty much it. So the main things, home, that's where you start. The other thing you're probably going to want to look at is your grade book. The grade book here is going to show you where you are in the process of the class, what your results are for your quiz. And yes, I have a survey I would like you to fill out when you're all said and done. And then when you finish everything, it will automatically go from a red incomplete to a green complete. And then once I get the green complete notice, I'll get an email sent to me. I'll know that you finished. Then I could go in and send you guys a cert for renewal. And that's pretty much the grade book. Okay, and then there's the email function. So the other stuff you're not going to really be messing with. So any questions, like I said, give me an email and we'll get you all straightened out. All right, guys, good luck. Thank you.